Viewer discretion is advised for this video. Not because I start cussing or doing anything outlandish or anything like that, but I talk about a few topics that may or may not be suitable for your children because I know everybody's household is different. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there before you started watching the video. What's going on, everybody? Kevin here, and welcome to my PSA number 4, where I just talk about a couple random topics that I'm just thinking of off the top of my head instead of following a script. And that is, number 1, I want to talk about this YouTube demonetization that's going on around the whole platform. Now, for many of you all who've been following the news or know that you noticed that YouTube has gotten in trouble because certain advertisers or companies pulled their advertisements from YouTube because they noticed that their videos were attached to certain videos that were just considered extreme or extremist videos. And I mean, I really can't blame them. And I know a lot of people are freaking out on the platform, but like all things, if you're not the owner of the platform, even though you might be the owner of the content you're uploading to YouTube, you're not the owner of the platform that you're uploading your content to. And you understand that Google is making the bulk of their money from advertisers such as AT&T, Verizon, Johnson & Johnson, and many other companies, that I really can't be mad at them. And I know some people in the past, because this isn't the first time this has happened. It's happened before when YouTube started demonetizing certain videos and people were getting upset and saying that YouTube was trying to censor them and so on and so forth. It's not censorship in that sense, because you can still upload these videos and talk about whatever you want in these videos. It's just that you can't put ads that make money on these videos. And so I laugh when people talk about they're being censored. It's just like, no, you just can't make money on these videos. And if you're being paid by advertisers, just like if you were in any other realm or business venture, advertisers have a right to do that. And especially if it's something that they deem is not beneficial for their brand, they have a right to do it. That's why for me, myself personally, now recently, like I guess early this week, I have monetized some old videos, but for the most part, I never want to get to the position where I feel like I'm using YouTube as a dependent upon how I make my money, how I feed my family, so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong, I love creating videos, and I don't knock anybody that that's something that they want to do. I personally just don't want to do it. I always want to have income, my main income coming in from someplace else, and then if I do make any money, you know, from YouTube or, you know, Amazon or whatever the case may be, that is just side money that I can use to better improve my equipment for my channel, or just a little side money, you know, on the side or whatnot, but never have it as my main source of income. But like I said, that's just me. The second thing I wanted to talk about is a few weeks ago, I talked about a conversation my wife and I had. We talked about what if it was scenario, what if it was a man and a woman, and the woman got pregnant, and they have to decide whether or not they're gonna keep this child, especially if child support is gonna play a factor in the future. Should the man, who was partly responsible for this, have any say? And I was supposed to do a follow-up video the following Friday, but instead I didn't end up uploading a video at all. So basically, how the conversation went and what my wife and I disagree on is primarily that my wife believes that a man has absolutely no say once he impregnates the woman. That basically his say was getting her pregnant. But after that, it's solely the woman's decision on what she decides to do, because it's her body one way or the other, whether to have the child or whether to, you know, get an abortion. It's her decision. And it's like, for me, I can't disagree with that wholeheartedly, but my thought process is, of course, of being a man, my thought process is, but without the man's seed fertilizing that woman's egg, they're not in that situation to begin with. Like, there's no scenario without those two things happening. But we just both compromise by saying this is why anybody who gets into a relationship, if you're not a person who you know you're not very good at taking self-accountability, then it's best to just either not get yourself in a situation in the first place, or make sure that you're having these conversations, especially if you're dealing with somebody that you're dating. Things either look like they might start getting serious or they are getting serious, but you guys have never talked about kids and who wants them, who doesn't, to know these things up front, to know that is this something that you want to continue on, or at least use the proper precautions to make sure that there's no pregnancy that comes into play, that you don't end up in that scenario that we talked about in the first place. So that's pretty much what that was. Like I said, we don't agree 100% on that. Like, we see each other's points, but we keeping our stances on those particular topics. But because we do have our stances on those things, doesn't mean all of a sudden I'm just gonna come out and say, oh, I want a divorce because you don't see things 100% my way. So that was just that one example that I meant to talk about, and I just been procrastinating on doing it. The third thing I wanted to talk about, which was kind of ironic, because like a week after when my wife and I had that discussion, this situation came up where we know that Beyonce took a picture with Blue Ivy that was shared all over the internet, and celebrities started following suit where the R&B artist Sierra took a picture with her husband Russell Wilson behind her and her holding her son. And then there was a comedian who goes by the name of Jess Hilarious, who took a picture with her and her son while her son had on shorts, you know, socks and Jordans, and she just had on socks and Jordans, and that was it, and he was sitting in her lap. So what I ended up doing, you know, I went to my wife, I'm like, is this okay? Like, and you all can answer this as well, ladies and gentlemen. Is there ever a point in time where your children are too old to see you in a particular way? Like, you know, what? Let me stop beating around the bush. Is it a certain age limit where your kids should no longer see you naked, like point blank period? And I had that conversation with my wife, where she was saying, well, when you look at the woman's body, you know, we don't always look at it in a sexual way. You know, you see it more of a nurturing way, because some moms even breastfeed their children up to 4 or 5 years old, sometimes even older, you know, depending on who you are. So, you know, it's nothing sexualized. You're trying to sexualize something that's just a thing of beauty. And I was like, come on now. And I mean, I agree with her, but I said, you know, just playing devil's advocate, come on now. You know good and well that if me as a man had take any type of pictures with my girls in the tub, the internet would completely lose their minds if I did something like that. So I was just poking fun, just saying, here we go with those double standards once again. But the whole underlying thing that happened that came out from this that she said, which I agree with wholeheartedly, is she said that people overshare on the internet nowadays, especially with social media, and I agree. I don't know if you as a parent has done it, or maybe your parents have done it, but everybody had that picture where the parents took a picture of them as a baby, they butt naked, whether they're in the tub, holding blocks or whatever. And I mean, for the most part, they're covered up, or certain parts are hidden, but they have those pictures. In the past, the only way you would see pictures like that is if you went over somebody's house and you opened up a photo album or something like that. But now, anytime people take pictures, no matter how intimate they automatically blast them all over the internet, and it's just crazy. But the question I have for you all is, I want to know, do you agree or disagree that we do overshare on the internet? My part two to that question I also want to ask is, if no matter what the picture is, if the individual willingly shares it on the internet, should people be allowed to give praise as well as criticism? Because listen, and like I said, this is just my opinion, but I'm gladly willing to hear you all. Once you share something on a public forum, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I believe it's fair game. Now, if somebody steals those pictures, or those pictures were meant to be private, meant to be for intimacy only, and then somebody leaked those photos or those videos, then no. You shouldn't be commenting, you shouldn't be saying anything on there, because it was never meant to be on the internet. But if you publicly and you willingly put it out there for everybody to see, it's fair game. This video I'm even sharing right now, I put up, and because one aspect or one feature that YouTube has is a like and a dislike button, and you, the viewer, has the right to either click the like button, which I hope you do click, or you can click the dislike button, or you can exercise not to click anything on it at all. You might not have even gotten to this far in the video, which is kind of ironic for me saying that, because you wouldn't know I said that if you clicked off of this video by now. But you have that right, because this is a video I'm putting out there just for public opinion, public feedback. But I'm done for now. So if you like this video, please click the like button. If you didn't like the video, I want to know, at least leave me a comment or two as to why. Also, remember, if you're not subscribed, I hope you do like this video, that you want to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, make sure you click the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll know the next time that I upload a video. But that's it. So as always, be wise. And until I see you guys next time, have a great weekend.